Hello, everybody. A very good morning to one and all present in the class. Please confirm the chat box if you all can see my if you all can hear my voice loud and clear. Thank you. In the meantime, I'm also sharing my screen. Excellent. So, welcome to day 3 of Agentic AI course, everybody. Today, we are going to continue from where we left off. Yesterday, we saw first 50% of the LangChain chains. Today, we'll be continuing our discussion on LangChain chains, and later we will also be exploring different output parsers. Okay. And yeah, today I have a little itchy throat, so maybe I may sound a little weird today. So kindly bear with me on that. So before I continue, Siva, I saw your question. Which library code validates OpenAI API key? So it is actually chat OpenAI only. So it actually either search for OpenAI API key environment variable, or practically speaking, you can also technically pass a parameter here. So you can actually say something like separated by comma API equal to key. Here you can pass your key, something. You feel me? So this is also something which you can try. End of the day, it is this class that actually identifies the key that you have set in the env file, and based on that key, it will connect to the server and it will respond. I mean, it will invoke the model with your query. Okay. So in our case, we don't prefer to hard code the keys. That's why I don't use this method. What I use is I set up the .env file and let the system allow to take the key from .env file. Okay. Achuraj is there in day 1. Can you please recheck it? In the day 1, you'll find requirements.txt. Okay, so everybody, let's continue from where we left off. Yesterday, we started our discussion on LangChain chains, and we discussed sequential chain and parallel chain. Now, today, we are going to discuss something called as conditional chains, or basically called as router chains. So, let me quickly show you here itself. So, initial part I deliberately coded. So, let me connect my environment. Loading the keys, loading the model. Now, what I'm going to discuss with you is called conditional chain or chain router. So chain router or router of chain, basically this is used to route the output of the previous runnable to the next runnable based on the output of the previous runnable. Short and sweet, this router will help you set up conditions like if else, everybody. So let's say if you want something like this, if the sentiment is positive, run the positive chain. If the sentiment is negative, run the negative chain. If the sentiment is neutral, run the neutral chain. If the sentiment is not detected, let it be default, like that. So if you want to set up something like that, or if you want to go conditional based execution, you can use chain router. Now here also, just to give you an example of how chain router is being used, I took the example of sentiment analysis only. So if you see my prompt here, I have prepared a very simple prompt saying given the user review. So I will be supplying user review as an input. Classify as the given sentiment positive or negative. Do not respond with more than one word. Very, very important. See, yesterday I gave you one PDF in which I told you that when we talk about prompt engineering, the prompts must be as clear as possible. Nothing should be vague, short and sweet. So for example, here I want to ensure the output of review must be a single word. And that what should be that word? Sorry, output of classification should be a single word. What should be that word? Positive or negative, like that. So here I have just prepared a prompt which will ensure the model will not hallucinate, at least in giving the output. And here I just invoked that template. And here I'm creating a chain. So you can see from template, the output will go to LLM. The output of LLM will go to string output parser to pass the string. I hope this makes sense, everybody. Very simple chain I have prepared using the pipe method. Now, if you see here one thing, of course, the string output parser, you can see that it is showing some kind of red because I haven't imported that. So let me even import it practically here itself. So I can say here from langchain underscore core dot output parsers. The name of the package is output parsers. I will import. There are different output parsers available. Right now we are exploring a string output parser. So here I have created my sentiment chain, and you can see here I ran the sentiment chain just for testing, where I'm saying thank you so much for providing such a great platform. Deliberately I have given the spelling mistake, everyone. Now, remember why I given this is because LLM is smart. He's trying to understand your emotion. Okay, he's trying to understand what you are trying to say. So point is deliberately I kept this like mistake so that you can still see that system is smart. Our LLM is smart basically. So if I try with a negative review, let's assume, I mean I just experimented. So deliberately I have these two comments. So if I try with a negative review, I'm not happy with the service, it is not good. You can see it gives negative. So at least this simple independent chain is working well. Now, what I want to do is, based on the output generated by sentiment chain, based on the output generated by sentiment chain, if the output is negative, I want to send an apology to my customer and request my customer to give me details to improve his experience. Okay? At the same time, if the output is positive, I want to thank him and encourage him to share his opinions in social media. So let's say this is the use case. Okay, so I am creating an automated workflow in which, based on the review I receive, I want to take an action. If the review is positive, I want to respond him with an email thanking the user for this positive feedback and encouraging him to do to basically share your feedback in social media platform. If the feedback is negative or if the review is negative, I will apologize the customer and ask him what we can do to improve his or her experience, like that. So see what I have done. I have created a chain called positive chain, in which I am running a prompt saying you are an expert in writing reply for positive review. You need to encourage the user to share their experience on social media. This is the review. Kindly give the answer. So here I'm using chat prompt template for positive template, LLM string output parser. Similarly, for negative prompt, you are an expert in writing reply for negative reviews. You need to first apologize for the inconvenience caused to the user. You need to encourage the user to share their concern in following email. I just given a dummy email and review and the answer. So what I did, I have prepared two independent chains. Now, when to run positive chain? If the output generated here, if the output generated by sentiment chain is positive, then this should run. Positive chain should run. If the output of sentiment chain, is negative, then he should run negative chain. So I am doing binary here, but guys, this can be a ladder. This can go n number of conditions when you see the code implementation. So how to do it? This is where chain router concept comes into picture, everybody. Pay attention. What I am doing here is, pay attention, very beautiful thing. In the latest style coding, that is the LCEL method, what they say is they want us to be as Pythonic as possible. In short, what LangChain team is saying is, see, since you all are good in Python, you create your condition as a function. So what I done is I created a function called route. Remember, this function name can be anything. This function name can be anything. I can say here like decision reviewer. This function name can be anything. So what I'm doing here is I'm checking if the output returned by this chain is positive. And please note, I'm taking that data and lowering it so that this will match. Okay, so lowercase and all I am taking care. So it will return positive chain. It will return positive chain. And if it's not coming, it will return negative chain. Simple and straightforward. Okay. So this is a simple Python chain, a simple Python function in which you have if else. Guys, remember you can have n number of else if ladders. Okay. This is just a binary example, but you can have n number of else if ladders. Now, what to do? Once I create this function, I need to make this function compatible to interact with chain. I need to make this function compatible to interact with chain, or basically make the function compatible for LangChain. This is where I will use a wrapper class called runnable lambda. What is runnable lambda doing here? Runnable lambda can help me convert a normal Python function into a function that is compatible to run with chain, or basically into a chain component. Okay. So here what I have done, I have created a full chain in which what I'm doing is I'm extracting the sentiment from sentiment chain, because see, if you remember, when I run sentiment chain, it will always return me one output, yes or no? When I run sentiment chain, it will return me that one output. I am storing that output in the sentiment variable. I am storing that output in that sentiment variable. Similarly, whatever review I am supplying, I am storing that in review, because I need to supply this sentiment and review to runnable lambda, because indirectly sentiment is used to take decision on which chain, and review is required by the respective chain object. Negative chain or positive chain requires the review object. That's why. Okay. So here, once the full chain is created, I have created a small example. This is a positive review saying full chain dot invoke. So let me first execute this first of all. I think I have executed above, but still I will recheck. Okay, this is executed. This is executed. Ha. Now if you see here, full chain is created. Don't worry. This, here I just printed the full chain basically. But yeah, here, full chain dot invoke. I am passing only the review. I am now passing a positive review. You will see the output generated by positive chain. You can see here. Thank you so much for your kind words. We are thrilled to hear that you are enjoying your platform and finding it valuable in your learning journey. Your satisfaction means a lot to the world. If you like to share your experience to others, if we would like you to post it in social media, so on and so forth. Okay. At the same time, if I try negative review, you can see here, the first thing that he will do is he will apologize. Thank you for taking your time to share your feedback. I sincerely apologize, so and so and so forth. We would appreciate your opportunity to address your concern directly. Feel free to reach out at this so and so email. We'll do our best to resolve your issue with the satisfaction. Best regards, so and so forth. Okay. So everybody in the class, end of the day, the role of router chain is to select a chain based on the condition that you code in your function. The function can have if else and or anything, doesn't matter, because you are the one who is designing this function. This has no relationship with LangChain's chain class. I hope I'm clear with this part. Kindly confirm. Flow is clear. Everybody, chain router all good? And this is the simplest implementation that I can explain you, and simplest method that LCEL team, I mean LangChain team, can offer you. Okay. Now let me see. I think someone asked some questions. Just now I saw the chat. Sorry. Let me see. Achuraj, that's already done. Raja, I couldn't attend. Raja, just recheck recordings, please. Thank you. I'll at the end of the class, I'll discuss with you if required. Okay. Okay, Jimit, you always share. Thank you. Okay. Samir, are these conditions or, and how to create the condition for or and add modes? Samir, the way how you create a normal function. So sentiment equals positive, or I can say, or I can say here, let's say, like, or the priority equals one. I mean, you feel me what I'm trying to say here? This is just a dummy I'm saying, but I hope you understand what I'm saying, right? And or combination can be, this can be or, this can be and. I mean, you feel me? The way how you create a simple if else condition. That's what I'm trying to say, Samir. Okay. Okay. How review will be taking value in the full chain? What we are supplying is review, na Sarji? Because sentiment is created by sentiment chain. Review I am supplying to the full chain. Full chain will pass this review to whom? To sentiment chain. Because the rule is what? Whatever is your first chain, that input variable will be considered. Mushtaq, clear? What I pass in the full chain, this variable is the variable of the first chain that you invoke. Okay? So if you see my sentiment chain above, here I'm taking review only. You feel me? And from there, I need to ensure that I should have this variable for my second chain. That's why when I'm running the sentiment chain parallelly, I'm also keeping a copy of review. Okay? Okay? So let me see here. Anshul, first of all, don't go by the words lambda. Lambda is a keyword that is used in Python in multiple areas. So don't mix up those things. Okay? Here, keep it simple. Runnable lambda is a wrapper class offered by whom? Offered by LangChain. The role of runnable lambda is to convert a normal function into a function that can connect to a chain. That can connect to a chain. This pipe means what? It's a chain object, right? Take it this way. Take it this way. Okay? Next. If I have only if else only and have a neutral review, will the response be changed? So Anurag, you need to just add regarding that part. You will create one more chain called neutral chain, and you can work with that. So got confused with the sequence. Mustaq, we are calling full chain. Agreed? We are calling full chain. We are calling full chain. Full chain. Full first call to which chain? Sentiment chain. Agreed? It will call to sentiment chain. What sentiment chain will return? It will return. It will return classification. Basically, it will return the feedback. Input is available in the review. Output is available in the classification. What I'm doing here, I am also extracting the input. So via review variable, which was invoked in full chain, the review variable, which was invoked in full chain, I'm restoring it in review because I want to pass this review and sentiment together to this function. Why? Because in this function, I'm using sentiment to extract positive or negative to call the respective chain. Not only that, the given chain, let's say positive chain, requires review. Okay, so this is the coding format. Remember, whatever parameters you want to pass to the next object, those parameters I am passing in the previous, basically. Those parameters I'm setting up in the previous. So remember, this function is receiving a dictionary object. So if I want to comment it, I'll comment it this way. What is happening here? It will be like this. Sentiment positive, comma, review, whatever is the review I have supplied in the input. So this is the input I supplied now, like this. So this will be -1, by the way. And this is going where? This is going in my lambda. This is what is happening. When the first chain is running, the output of first chain is what? Sentiment negative, review this. So this dictionary object goes to my lambda function, wherein this part of the data is used by the function to select the chain, whereas this part of the data will be used by the respective chain object, positive chain or negative chain, because in negative chain also I need to share the review. So that review sharing I am doing here, because the dictionary is created and the dictionary has the respective object. I recommend everybody go through the code again, go through the sequence again, okay? Go through this style. This is the normal functional programming paradigm, everybody. Okay. Krishna, what is lambda? So I explained that, right? So this is next to extract the review variable. Okay. Vishal, more use cases means anywhere when you did conditions, that's the use case, right? Switching to from sales department to escalations department, from sales department to let's say delivery department, from say customer service excellence to let's say to the TL department, like that. So wherever you need switching, you will use chains. Clear, Vishal? Hmm. So everybody, what I will do right now is I will give you this code first, because before I continue with the topic, I want to ensure you are clear with this code. Let me just put this code in the Google Drive. I'll create a Day3 folder. Everybody, I'll give you 5 minutes time to review this code. Once this is done, then I'll continue with the next type of chain, okay? Just, just give me 1 minute. Yeah. Everybody in the class, please check and confirm if you can access the code. You can type C here, can access. Yeah, perfect. Everybody, please go through the code once. I'll give you only 5 minutes time. After 5 minutes, we'll go for the next topic within the chains. Vivek, I'm not speaking anything. That's why you can't hear or see. So Vishal, we can touch the prompt as system message prompt and review as user message prompt. No harm. You can do that. Vishal, agreed. For this use case actually. But Vishal, practically, like that, see, what we have done here, we created a persona only, right? So since you're thinking in that perspective, I will agree to that, okay? Is it like the output of previous runnable is review that is passed to the function? So Krishna, this review variable, which is supplied to him, sentiment chain. This lambda allows me to extract a review from sentiment chain. Let me put it that way. Okay. In fact, let me do something here. Let me show you something here. I hope Krishna, you're watching my screen. Everybody, those who have confusion of this code, review lambda x, kindly watch my screen. Everybody, please confirm watching my screen. Everybody, just want to make you understand why this x of review can take the review. Okay. Now, let's be factual. So, I'm just removing string output parser for 2 minutes. Pay attention. When I say sentiment chain dot invoke, I am passing the review. I am passing the review. First of all, tell me, everybody understand what is happening here? These 2 lines of code, kindly confirm with a yes, kindly confirm. Everybody? Everybody understanding? Good. Now, I'll run this. What is the output that I'll get here? Output is an AI message. Agreed, disagreed? Output is an AI message. In the AI message, what I see here? Content. But what are the additional data? What are these? These are your metadata. These are your metadata. Now, if suppose I want to access this review, if I want to access this review so that I can supply it further, what I have done here, when I'm calling sentiment chain here, internally I'm calling a lambda function which will read the sentiment chain object and which will extract the review. The way how we extract the content which is coming from the AI message output, this lambda expression will read it from the input. Now this is happening internally. Now internal code, if you ask me, then I will need to dissect this pipe, because in this pipe what is happening is, this pipe is like a looping statement wherein I have an object called mapping object. I don't know if you can see here this mapping object. Technically from this mapping object I am taking the review. Now this is the internal point and I'm talking about this pipe character. Okay, I'm taking the data from this mapping object. So this is the high internal side. So I really don't want to get into internals. Short and sweet, always remember, when you have a chain, you can actually gain the content of input and output of chain via lambda expression. If you are aware of the input variable name. If you're not aware of input variable name, you can't do it. It's that simple. For example, here, if I just run only this part, lambda x equals x in the review, let me see if I can print it. Let me see by doing it here. Okay. No, here I can't print actually. The problem is this is little wrappered in the function. Otherwise, I could have printed it from internals. Okay, I can't print it unfortunately. But yeah, overall, the point is simple. When I am calling this, what is happening? Inside the sentiment chain, we have the input parameter which we pass, that is review. This review is been recorded again. Why it's been recorded again? Because I want to supply sentiment and review together to decision reviewer. In decision reviewer, this sentiment will be used to take a decision and this chain will require this review parameter. Whatever chain is being called, whether it's positive or negative, it will require this review parameter. So for example, if I don't supply review, let's assume If I don't supply review, what will happen? See, it will give an error. And what is that error? AI message has no attribute. Oh, this is something else. AI message has no attribute lower. That's what. Now this error is little misguiding. Actually, it has no lower because the data that was supplied is never a string. That's why. No other reason. Here, I'll just do one thing. Let me just change it. Where is that? Yeah, I'll just change it to here, string output parser. Let me rerun this. Now you see the error. See the error. Input to chat from template missing the variable review. Can you see? Expected review received sentiment review 1. So point is, who is expecting review? It is expected by chat from template. What is that chat from template? If you backtrack this part, chat from template is nothing but either the negative change chat from template, basically this object, or this object, which is nothing but chat from template. So what is he expecting? He's expecting review. So we are ensuring that before I call the next chain object, whatever I'm supplying, it has all the necessary data. So that's what is being taken care here. Hope everybody is getting this information. And this is the style of coding that you can remember. Okay. In functional programming, certain things are hidden. That's the beautiful thing. Anonymous functions are very much, I mean, there are many anonymous functions due to which sometimes showing certain things becomes a, pain in the task for me. Okay. So everybody, requesting all of you to stop your work and check my screen. We'll go for the next topic. Kindly confirm if you all are watching my live screen now. Let me just scroll down and let me just remove this part of the code because I don't want to mess up the things actually. Yeah. Okay. Now, everybody, please see here. Next part, very important. There will be situations. So, if suppose, see, let me tell you, even though you will be an AI engineer, there are some AI engineers who will be hardcore developers, and there will be some AI engineers who will act as architects. Right now, whatever training I'm giving you, you will be acting like an architect. Okay? But let's say you have been hired as a developer. At times, one of the role will be to set up custom metrics or to set up custom parameters. What do you mean by that? See, earlier when I shown you without string output parser, the output of without string output parser, you saw an AI message containing some additional arguments. Yes or no? There were additional keyword arguments. What if there's a situation where you need to set up your own arguments? For example, hypothetically, what I'm doing here is I want to create two arguments called character counts and word counts. So whatever input I supply to the user, I want to count how many number of words the user has supplied and how many number of characters the user has supplied. Hypothetically. So here, what I did is I created these two functions. Now guess and tell me how to convert this function into a chain object or basically chain compatible object. Which class will you use to convert a normal Python function into a chain compatible object or wrap it into chain compatible object? Which runnable, Vishal? Because there are multiple runnables in the class. We have runnable lambda. Yes or no, everybody? Runnable lambda. Here also we use runnable lambda to convert a normal Python function into a chain object. Okay, so here pay attention. What I'm doing is I created a simple prompt for formality, and here I created a simple chain for formality where I'm just passing two inputs. Earth is a planet, sun is a star, which is going here. Explain these inputs in 5 sentences. That's the query. Now pay attention. I am creating another prompt in which what I'm doing is the output that is generated by the LLM, I am going to count the number of characters, going to count the number of words using the function logic that I have prepared, and also whatever output is generated, I'm going to even supply that output. So to supply that output or to pass through that output, we are using a function called runnable pass-through. Runnable pass-through is all about doing something like this. If I want to mathematically explain what is runnable pass-through, it is like f of x equals x. What is f of x equals x? Whatever is your input, same is the output. Do you feel me? Whatever is your input, same is your output. So it's like similar to writing a code like this. It's like similar to writing a code like this. So I'll say def pass through, okay, in which I have the text, in which I will say return string of text. Everybody understanding? So this part can be also rewritten this way. I can say runnable lambda of pass through. Everybody feeling what I'm trying to say here? Kindly confirm. What is runnable pass through? Taking the input coming from the string output parser and passing it as it is in the form of string. Nothing more than that. Nothing more than that. So see, guys and girls, see, this is for hardcore developers I'm training. Huh? If there's a situation where you want to add more metadata, this is metadata by the way, we can use the combination of runnable lambda and runnable pass-through. So for example here, let me just run this much part and show you the output, then it will make more sense. So this is the output without any metadata. See, without any metadata. Now if I want output with metadata, with my custom metadata, which I have done here, see here. I'll get an output here, pay attention. See, character counts, who generated this? I generated it. Word counts, who generated this? I generated this. Output, Earth is a third planet. Who generated the output? The output was generated by LLM, which is passed through string output parser. And I just passed this output as it is to the output variable. I passed this output to the output variable. Okay. So remember, this is for custom, I can say metadata. Best example of custom metadata, if you ask me, what I can do here is, I can actually say something like this. Where is that function? What I can do here is, I can create one more function called, hypothetically I'm creating this function, guys, just for your understanding purpose, bear with me. I will call this as pricing. Pay attention, huh? Real practical example I'm sharing you. So whatever is the length, I'm assuming each word cost me 0.01 cent. Okay. And now here, I'll just execute this. Now here, I will just pass one more parameter called cost. I will say here, runnable lambda pricing. I will run this. So for this query, how much charge is been incurred? I'm able to figure out that. Do you feel me what I'm trying to explain? Kindly confirm. Real life implementation. I will not manually calculate. I will not take the metadata. So point is, this is for hardcore developers. This is not done by AI engineers. This is for hardcore developers. If suppose there's a situation where there's a requirement to have custom metadata in your outputs, maybe for logging purpose, you know, which user has accessed the LLM, at what time, audit logs. Audit logs also generated this way. See, applications are limitless. All I'm saying is applications are limitless, but the coding is so simple. Coding is so simple. Hope you all are getting me. All good. Thank you. Kindly continue. Is there any class to generate standard metadata? You are creating this way. Jimit, there is no standard class, unfortunately. You will create a custom class. Okay. Standard class is actually embedded in AI message. The output of AI message class that is being used. You can actually, I mean, I don't want to once again show you here, but what one of the ideas that I do is AI message has a class called vector something something. I inherit that class in my custom class and I use those features along with my custom feature. So using that I do. Hope you got it, right? Jimit, what I'm trying to explain? Yeah. This is, yeah, so Chiki, you're right. I mean, indirectly, I am actually adding an observability layer. Yeah, I didn't wanted to use this term right now, but you know this term, that's why I'm saying this way. Okay. Can be able to pass AI message. You can, of course, be, but only after the output is generated. Of course, yes, you can pass it. But in that AI message, if you want to add additional parameter, you can't. So this is an option to add additional parameters. Got it, Veer? This is an option to add additional parameters. So everybody, I hope this part is clear. I will continue with the last topic of this chain and then I'll give you this book. Okay, so be very patient with me. So Ankit, here just for example purpose, I assumed each word cost me this much amount. This was my assumption. Huh? I mean, this is not the correct formula. My goal was to my goal was to explain the expression behind the concept, not to give you the exact formula. I hope you're getting me right, Ankit. This is just an example I prepared. Okay, last concept for the chain. Everybody, LCL, last concept. Once I cover this, then I'll give you this notebook. This is a very particular, powerful concept once again for developers. See, we are using chain class like runnable lambda, runnable pass-through. We are using the pipe operator. But what if you want to create your custom chain? You want to design your custom chain from scratch. This is where LCL stays. I will give you something called chain decorator. This is where LCL says, I will give you chain decorator. So what is, I hope everybody in the class you are aware of Python decorators. It's a Python decorator concept. Those who are not aware, just ignore it. Very simple concept. See, what I'm doing here is, if you see here, this is the same example I took yesterday. The school teacher, topic and points. Okay. A simple chain, teacher chain I have created. A teacher chain. A fact chain. Something is missing. What is that? Response is not defined. Why response is not defined? Where is my response? Fact chain, analysis chain, fact chain, response, response, analysis, response. Okay, 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 okay. Why response is not defined? Guys, just give me 1 minute. I'm sorry. Response will come in compose chain, right? Yeah, it's working here. What is happening here? Fact chain to analysis chain, analysis. Okay, okay. I just did a small blunder here. Okay, fine. So see, let me first show you something here. What I'm doing here is I created a function called custom chain in which what I'm doing, I'm running two chains in parallel. Do you feel me? Can I say this is similar to runnable parallel? Say yes or no. Can I say this function is similar to runnable parallel? Yesterday we learned this, right? Runnable parallel concept. Good. You know what I'm doing here? I'm not using runnable parallel class. Instead, I have a custom chain in which I am setting up the logic, and this entire function I am converting it into a chain using @chain decorator. So this decorator will do what? I have already written notes below for you. This decorator wraps your function into a runnable compactable object. Supports all LCL operations like invoke, batch, etc. You can involve your arbitrary Python code like loops, conditionals, error handlings, etc. The function input is a single parameter, often a dictionary object. The output can be any object, whatever you declare. For example, here my output is a dictionary object. But this can be any object. This can be dictionary, list, string. It's up to your limits. This can also be a result set which you need to pass through the database. This can be a CSV output which you pass to pandas data frame, or maybe to a Spark data object. I mean anything. The limits is up to your project basically. Okay. So here basically when I'm running this custom chain, let me just run this. I need to first fix the fact chain. So let me see what's the problem with the fact chain. So fact chain is saying that, so I have my teacher chain on the top. Okay. My teacher chain is working good. I guess so. Yeah. Here I'm passing the analysis prompt. So I have the analysis prompt fact check chain. So in the fact check chain, what I'm doing is I am passing the analysis prompt to LLM, and from LLM to string output parser. And then I am calling the response object and I am printing the output. Response object is something that I have declared here, but according to him, he is not able to read the response object due to some reason. Okay, so basically what he's trying to tell me is, at times, I don't know, these guys are little idiots. Sometimes they want me to exclusively mention the input variables. At times, they want me to exclusively mention the input variable. But still, it doesn't make any sense to me. But okay, if he's saying like this, the only option I can do here is I can go ahead and set up the input variable maybe. So maybe I can, or maybe the response is here only. So somewhere my mind is not able to digest this output. Name error. It's weird actually. Oh, okay. I didn't. Fine. Okay, okay. The problem is I didn't create the variable. I thought I created variable above. Okay, I'll just create variable below then. So I'll create a variable response in which I will say, maybe I can say teacher. Okay, I need to run this teacher chain dot invoke. Okay. So teacher chain dot invoke, in which I will pass the parameters. What are the parameters? School. School will be what? Let's say yesterday's class, I think PhD we took, na? Let's say PhD only. What is the next parameter? Topics. Or the second, I forgot about this. Topic will be what? Solar system maybe. And then what else? Final points. Points will be, let's go with 3 points for now. Now tell me it's done. Yeah, okay. Yeah, where normally here I was expecting to write the response variable, but I forgot to write. Okay, no worries. Compose chain is fine. Creation of custom chain is fine. And then running the custom chain. Don't remember, this custom chain function is now a chain object. Okay, everybody? See here, custom chain dot invoke. What is the problem now? What I have missed here? Fact chain is not defined. Fact chain. Okay, what is the name I given above? Fact check chain. Okay, sorry, my bad. Fact check chain. My bad. This is the problem. And oh, my poem chain I haven't defined or what? This is the problem when I take it from previous book. Wait, where is my poem chain? Poem chain, poem chain, poem chain. Compose chain is fine. Poem chain. This will be my LLM. What is the problem? What I missed here? Points is missing here. Now it's done. Okay. Let me rerun this. Sorry, I need to rerun this part actually. Custom chain. Poem chain variable name is correct. In the poem chain, I'm using points. So basically below also, I will need to use points. I don't need sentences, by the way. School primary topic solar system points 2. School primary solar system points 2. Okay. Okay. Name change the place of this. Okay, where is the template and all? This is the problem when you break the notebook. Just 1 minute. Let me just give the template and everything. Wait, I'll just prepare the proper fact chain only because this is one little different. I'll prepare the proper fact chain. Fact chain, poem chain. Oh, okay. Sorry. Sorry. Wrong location. Just give me 1 minute, everybody. Yeah, I'll just fix this quickly. I'll just remove the unnecessary stuff only now because this is something I require only fact chain. Fact chain I have given here. Fact chain independently is working good. There's no issue with that. After the fact chain, I'm working with the compose chain. Compose chain is not required, so I'll remove compose chain as a matter of fact. I'll require the poem chain. And after that, creating the custom function. Okay, compose chain removed. Fact chain is present. Fact chain working independently. Poem chain working independently. Fact chain function created. Custom chain working. Yeah. Okay, everybody. So here you go. The thing is, I was messing up with multiple object. I just restarted my notebook. I prepared a simple object, fact chain above. So fact chain is working independently. Fact chain is all about creating the facts. Poem chain is an independent object I have created to create poem of 2 sentences maybe. Created this custom chain function, and then customer where custom chain, I'm passing all the parameters for fact chain and poem chain, and I'm running custom chain in parallel, which you can see here. Okay. So I was just messing up with all the variable names and all. That's why it was creating error to me. So I just restarted everything. So everybody, I'll just give you the notebook. Day 3, I will just update the old one. I'll remove that old notebook. Here you go. Please check and confirm if you can access the updated notebook. Please check and confirm if you can access the updated notebook. So those who have joined late, those who haven't attended last 3, 4 lectures, at the end of the class, please interact with me. Yeah? I'll help you. Others, please type CA can access if you can access the code. Thank you, Chiki. Okay, everybody, please review the code once. Ensure all the syntaxes are clear in your mind. Thank you. So Sendran, refresh or else go in incognito mode and try again. It is updated. Christine and Susendran, just try incognito mode with my link. Rakesh, try incognito mode. It can be due to browser cache issue because others can access. So everybody sharp 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, we'll start with the next topic. Huh? So Rupa, I am already sharing you the parent folder access only. The link that I'm offering you is the parent folder link only. See this. I hope the link is updated, Rupa. Can you confirm? Raveen, I'm not sure. I guess the audio is fine from my side. Please confirm. Others, I hope my audio is fine. Please confirm. Anshul, if you want to add custom variable like word count in at the rate chain, do we have to write it every time for every function? Do we have to write it every time means I didn't get you. So whatever function you're creating in that you need to write the logic if that's what you're asking me. And it will return all those parameters. The logic will be there and in the return statement it will return a dictionary containing the word count also. Like in this case how I have returned the parallel chain output. Okay, so you will have a parameter called word count colon the output. Clear? So yeah, whichever function you intend to convert it into a chain, yes, you need to add array chain. Yes, this array chain is linked with only one function. Yeah, review is a keyword which I have created in my prompt. Review is a keyword which I created in my prompt. Whatever in the prompt keywords I create, that keyword I'm using. See here. For example, in the positive chain or negative chain, see this keyword I have set up in the prompt, right? So technically it acts as a keyword. The function input is a single parameter after a dictionary. Yeah. If I have to pass fact chain or something else as input parameter. Remember, what you pass is not a chain, what you pass is output of the chain. So ideally something like this here. See, what I'm passing is the output to another component. Vishal, the way how I have done here for full chain. Mustaq parallel. Default is parallel. Because there is no if condition, else condition. Na? For sequential, either there will be a timer or there will be a counter variable or something like that. Normal data structures. My screen is froze. Oh, okay. Let me check. Now it's okay? Unsure? Yeah, okay. I, we can try ternary operator also. Yeah. The logic, you can try anything. End of the day, when you talk about decorator, it converts your normal function into a chain compactable object or a runnable object. If you use runnable lambda, it will allow you to represent a function as an object in the chain. So end of the day, see, logic can be anything inside the function, doesn't matter. But it should comply with your prompt and everything. That's the basic thing you need to take care. You cannot call a variable that doesn't exist in the prompt template or something like that. Let me see if I missed any other chat also. Let me just scroll up and check it. Another 2 minutes, everybody. Ankit, trust me, this is slow. Trust me, this is slow when I say. The thing is, what I'm trying to do is, I'm ensuring that I can give you more. These developer things and all usually is not covered a lot, but yeah, that's the goal. So my suggestion for you is revise the recording again and again. Little bit Python you need to strengthen. Huh? No, there's no other option, unfortunately. At least be aware of this. If you feel that you have a team of Python programmer and if you are a team lead or something, in that case, of course, see, you are aware of this concept, your developers will do this work for you. Think in that perspective also. Okay. Mm. Aarti Krishna, can we check the chain decorator just to understand how to utilize chain decorator? See, chain decorator is all about creating an independent chain function. That's it. For example, here I created a parallel chain. It's similar to how I do runnable parallel. The goal was to show you of the fact that we do have this decorator that can allow us to convert a normal function into a chain function. That's it. That was the only goal, to show you this demo, nothing more than that. So Jaya, in Python function, can I scan DB, pass parameters from them to form a custom chain? Is there any limitation? No. But there we will not use chain, there you will use nodes, and in that case I will prefer you to use LangGraph, because that's way more optimized than using the chain approach. Because when you use chain approach, the speed will be dependent on, first of all, the Python's database connectivity speed. Once that output is generated, it should be in the form of dictionary, which will pass to the chain. So that, if you see the total turnaround time, that will be slower compared to when we use LangGraph. So for this kind of design case, we go for LangGraph usually. And Suljia, indirectly, this will be covered in our class. Indirectly, not directly, of course. Indirectly, we'll cover this. Okay, everyone. So as per the timing concept, I request you to stop your work and check my screen. That's what I'm trying, Amit. Not just for LangGraph, but even for LangChain. Your support will be required. That's the only thing, because, yeah, speed and all will need to be managed. Those who are non-developers in the class, see, do not get discouraged. My only request is, when you get the recording, go slow, type the code 10 times. Trust me, you will gain it. Okay? So coming back, everybody, requesting all of you to stop your work and check my screen. Kindly confirm if you are watching my live screen. Everybody in the class, stop your work, kindly watch my live screen, everybody. And yeah, today I'm not rude. My voice is rude because of my throat. Huh? Kindly bear with me. And seriously, I don't know. Pune temperature. Last 3 days it was super chill. Now all of a sudden temperature gone. Reactions are happening. Okay, so output parsing, guys and girls, everybody in this class. Till now, you all have explored string output parser, and I hope everybody is comfortable to understand string output parser. Yes or no? String output parser means what? It will extract the dot content object. That's it. And it will display it in the form of string. Am I right, everybody? Everybody understands that? When I say dot content, what does it mean? Everything? Good. But when we talk about LangChain or LangGraph in general, there are different output parsing objects available, which you can use depending on the situation. For example, if your LLM emits a CSV output, you can actually use something called CSV output parser. If you want to extract date time from LLM output, you can use datetime output parser. If your LLM is emitting output in the form of JSON, you can use JSON output parser. But you know what? I am right now heavily interested to teach you structured output parser. More specifically, to teach you Pydantic. This is not a part of your course, but I need to teach you this because my conscience will not allow me to have my breakfast if I don't teach you this. Why? Pydantic is the new object-oriented language system adopted in the world of AI. And this is happening since last 1 year. Everyone who want to formalize structured output for any AI application, they involve Pydantic. And Pydantic is an independent package. It has no relation with LangChain, no relation with LangGraph. It can work with LangChain, it can work with LangGraph, it can work with AutoGen, it can work with even your OpenAI API, it can work with Llama Index. Pydantic allows you to generate structured output. Now, first of all, what do you mean by structured output? Or what do you mean by structured data? The data that has physical schema, the data that has physical schema and, and that has constraints. Those are from database background. I hope you all understood. Schema of the database object, right? Column name, column data type, constraints. Whether nulls are allowed or not, what is the min value allowed, what is the max value allowed, like that. If you want to achieve that at the programming level, rather than writing a getter setter class, now remember this is for hardcore developers I'm speaking. If you want to implement something like that, you may create getter setter classes, you will add your constraints and all. Rather than that, you use Pydantic. Now, guys and girls, just pay attention to my code. Do not think further back or do not think forward also. Don't ask me any questions right now for 5 minutes. See here. What I'm doing here. Like I said, what is Pydantic? Pydantic is a Python library for data validation and settings management. It provides a class called base model class, which you will need to inherit in your class for declaring data models like type, constraints, descriptions. Okay, those who are from Java background, you may be aware of Hibernate. So this is similar to Hibernate, just to keep you informed. Only for Java people, huh? I created an analogy. Now, in LangChain, Pydantic models are often used for defining structured output expected from LLM or validating and passing LLM outputs into safe, strongly typed Python object. Guys, this is an important thing whenever we are working on any developing, any software development. Even though Python is like flexible in terms of type inference, basically based on the data, he will decide the data type of the variable. We all know that, practically speaking. But when you are working on integration based projects, you need to have strongly typed objects. Strongly typed means if I have a variable called num1 and if I say num1 should be integer, I don't want any accident done by the Python to convert num1 into a string. I want num1 to be always integer throughout the life cycle of the execution. So how to ensure strongly typed Python objects? You can use Pydantic. Let me show you the direct example. Let me remove unnecessary stuff also. Yeah. So like I said, what I'm doing here, see, just to keep it simple, I am going to create a table named joke, which has 3 columns. The first column name is setup. The data type will be of type string. It will support null, right? It will not support null. Punchline, data type will be string. It will not support null, means these two are mandatory objects. Then I have rating, which is of type int. Null is supported and the default is none. Default is none means without rating also I am okay. So remember what I'm doing here is I'm also adding constraints in the field object, like if I want to use greater than keyword, I will use GE. LE keyword is for the less than equal to, GT is for greater than, LT is for less than. So for example, here I have created a class called joke, which inherits the base model. And the goal of this class is to tell a joke to the user. Okay. So here setup, see the data type is being fixed string in which I'm declaring a field. And in the description, I am giving the description of the field. Guys and girls, whenever you are going to pass any object to LLM, if you want the LLM to understand the role of each variable, you need to declare description. Description is more like prompts to explain the LLM what data should be stored in the given variable, because it is the LLM that will store data in the variable. You are not going to assign the data to the variable. LLM will assign the data to the variable. So how LLM will understand which variable will hold what? Through the description. Through the description. Punchline, data type string, field, punchline of the joke. Rating, see, I'm using a variable called optional. So optional means what? Rating is an optional component. Basically means if the rating is also not supplied, still it will work. Whereas these two are mandatory. If setup is missing or punchline is missing, it will throw an error. Description, you can see the rating of the joke is from 1 to 10. Default is none. See, default variable I have set. Default variable I have set. And minimum variable should be, it should be always greater than equal to 1, less than equal to 10. So I cannot have rating as 11. LLM can never give me any rating which is less than 1 or any rating greater than 10. And since it's integer, obviously there is no float element. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See what is happening here, everybody. Technically speaking, I created a strongly typed Python object. technically speaking, I have created a strongly typed Python object. Now this object will be called in my output parser. How? Pay attention. I am going to use a class called Pydantic output parser in which I will set up my joke class. And I will be using this parser in my LLM later. How? I have shown the below code. Before that, this parser can also give me the instructions or the prompt that I can even supply in my prompt template. For example, if you see, I'm actually extracting the prompt by using a function get format instruction. So this is nothing but to extract prompt that you may use in the prompt template. Only if required, not mandatory, okay? So if you see the output of instruction here, see, what is the instruction output? The output should be formatted as JSON instance that confirms the JSON schema below. What is the thing he's saying? Properties, foo, title, whatever. But this is just an example he has given. The actual output schema is here. Description of the joke is to tell the joke to the user. Properties, setup. Description is what? Setup of the joke. Title, setup, type, string. Punchline, description, whatever description. Title, punchline, type, string. If you observe, title was created not by me. It is created by the Pydantic object. Next, rating. Any of maximum 10, minimum 1. So guys, this is the formal schema of JSON when you want to restrict the numbers, by the way. This is how you use. You use something called any of. Type is integer. Type supports null and the default is null. And the description is the rating of the joke between 1 to 10. Title is rating. What is required? Setup and punchline is required. Rating is optional. Why rating is not in the required section? Because rating I have set up optional here. That's why. Okay. So this is the instruction. If required, you can even copy paste this instruction in your prompt, or you can append this instruction in your prompt. For example, below I shown this example. See the prompt here. Simple prompt template where I'm saying answer the user query with a joke. Here is the formatting instruction. So you see I pass the format instruction which has been created here, by the way. Okay. So basically format instruction I'll be creating below. Sorry. Here I'm creating basically. Okay. Query, whatever query I have passed, input variable is my query. Partial variable. So remember, whenever you want to pass the output format or any format instruction, you use a keyword called partial variables. So partial variables are the values you want to hard code or fill in at the creation time. In this case, I am passing the passing output or passing instructions. So here I create a simple chain, prompt to LLM, nothing more than that. If you see the output here, let me just run it because I haven't run this from the beginning. So I can see the output also in parallel. Guys, bear with me, huh? My bad throat. Yeah. So see the output here. I'll show you the content because content is way more interesting to see. If you see the output, see, LLM has gave a joke. Why the cat is sitting in the computer? Because it wanted to keep an eye on the mouse. Wow, that's a good joke, by the way. So according to the LLM, the rating given is 7. Wow, that's a good thing. Also, I can use parser object. Now, please note what is this parser object. Pay attention. This is the parser object I have created above. So this is method 2. See. In fact, I'll do one thing for your simplicity in the code. I will mention here as method 2. Wait. This is method 2 using parser directly. Earlier what I shown is method 1. Let me just write down here only. Okay, so what we learned is this method 1. Okay. Next here is method 2 using parser directly. So here in the method 2, what I'm doing, I have given the parser directly to the chain. So when I execute this every bit, please see the output I'm getting. Setup, punchline, rating. So we are getting the output properly. Okay. You can also use the third method. What is the third method? The third method is passing Pydantic object directly to LLM. There is no chain in between. Pay attention. There's no chain in between. Okay. So for that, I am using something called as with structured output. For example, here, can you see? This is, I'm calling via LLM directly. Tell me a joke about cat. He's just giving me a joke. But pay attention, everybody. I am saying structured LLM equal to LLM dot with structured output joke. See, I'm passing the joke class directly here. And I created a final object called structured LLM. When I run structured LLM dot invoke, see the output I'm getting. See, as per the Pydantic output. So, setup, punchline, rating. Setup, punchline, rating. So this is third method. Directly, indirectly, I'm just showing you how you can use your Pydantic objects. All variations I'm showing you, everybody. In fact, if I execute and show you, this will also work the same way only. I don't think there will be any difference. Here you go. Rating is now 7. So actually, this is the final code. This is how the code will look like. So invoke of LLM using structured output, using that structured LLM object. This is the way how it will look like. So guys, this is the example of using Pydantic, and trust me, in long run, you all will use Pydantic a lot in your production environment. This is my guarantee. Okay. Now, I'll take all the questions later. Let me complete this notebook. The next is the JSON output parser. As the name suggests, what is this JSON output parser? Accepts the string or the base message as input and return an arbitrary type. Basically, in this case, JSON. So what I'm doing here, I'm calling JSON output parser. And just to give you an idea, I'm going a little advanced here. I'm also passing the Pydantic object, so that the JSON output parser is aware about the structure of the output I'm expecting. And then I'm just passing the format instructions as it is, input variable, partial variable, same way how I taught you. You get a JSON output. This time you're getting a proper JSON output. Why you're getting a JSON output? Because I'm using JSON output parser. No other reason. Okay. Similarly, if I try to use a parser directly, see, I haven't executed that. Let me execute that. My bad. Earlier it was Pydantic. That's why it was executing this way. Now, if I run this parser directly, can you see? There's a curly bracket here this time. Basically, the difference between the previous and the current is, in the previous, it was pure Pydantic output. Here, it is JSON output. Similarly, CSV, everybody. Now here, just I have emulated a scenario because I didn't have a CSV output here. What I have done here is I'm just showing how to use the CSV parser. The class name is comma separated list output parser, as you can see here, in which I am just asking a query to generate website SEO keywords. So the output that I get is nothing but a list object, basically CSV only, comma separated object. Okay, this is just a emulation I have done just to show you how CSV output parser works. Lastly, we have something called as datetime. I made a spelling mistake here. It's a datetime output parser. Datetime output parser, as the name suggests, is to extract date and time from the LLM output. Sometimes it throws error if LLM output is not in datetime format. Yes. So this is something which is very sensitive. For example, here, I asked a question. When the America got discovered? When the America got discovered? See the output. I'm getting output this way. The reason is because I'm using datetime output parser. If I was using string output parser, I would have received output this way. Maybe I would have received like America was discovered on in the year 1492, so and so, something like this. Okay. So everybody, what I'll do is I'll give you this notebook. Go through this notebook line by line. Anywhere, if you have any questions, you can ask me after you go through everything. Okay. First, ensure you go through everything. Just give me 1 minute. Let me share you the notebook. Everybody please check and confirm if you can access output parsing folder. Just refresh your drive link. Okay. So requesting all of you to go ahead. First, go through the notes. Go through the code. Any questions you can have already? I think I have a question. What is this? Sudarshan. Sorry. In case of datetime output parser, will the format of date always be YYMMDD? The default. See, this is a default ISO format, right? The datetime format. Yes. So default is yes, but yeah, if time is included, then it will be minutes and seconds also. But if you want, you can change the format. So since you asked this question, I'll just show you one example here. For example, here, instead of saying this, you can say it like this: parser equals datetime format or datetime output parser, in which I can say format equal to, here you can give your regular expression string, like %d, this is like date, %m, sorry, %m, this is month, and then %capital Y. You feel me what I'm saying, Sudarshan? So you can declare your custom format if you want to. Okay? Perfect. Got it. Go ahead. Everybody, please review the code step by step. Take your time. Today I'll not take any more topic. I want you all to digest till here. So please go ahead of it. Go ahead, review everything. Okay, next question. What about tune? What about tune? Sorry, I didn't get your question, Chiki. You're asking me what is tune, or you're asking me what? Can you rephrase your question, Chiki? Can we use tune? Yeah, you can use tune only and only when you're using OpenAI models, not any other models. Remember, tune method is only applicable if you're using GPT 4.1 and GPT 4.0 models, not even GPT 3.5. So GPT 4 is the minimum. And you cannot use this with any other formats. Sorry, any other models. Like you cannot use it with Gemini, you cannot use it with any other thing. But Pydantic is independent entity. That's the reason why people go for Pydantic, even though Tune is recently developed. Pydantic is there since the beginning. Not seeing the notebook. Everybody, can you access my notebook? Please confirm. Please type CA if you can access my notebook. Because I can see in my drive it's updated. Vishal, incognito mode again, please, if possible. It's zipped this time. Vivek, is it zipped? No. It is IPYNBOD. I haven't given the zip file. Use the link that I gave you, everybody. This is the root folder link. Use the link I gave you in the chat. Oh, so when you're downloading the folder, I'm assuming. That's why it's zipping, right? You're downloading the folder, Surya? Maybe that's the reason. So what I recommend is, rather than download the folder, go to the file itself, download the file directly. Wow. Okay, then I'm not sure. Okay, fine. If it's zipped, you can unzip it. No worries. Ideally, I know, I'm not sure why it's zipped. Guys, I'll be just back in 1 minute. Let me have a sip of warm water. I'll be back in 1 minute. Please continue with your work. Okay, I'm back. Let me see what's in the chat. So there no only ways to download folder only. Okay, it's the beauty of Google as we almost. Oh, okay. Now makes sense. Chiki, I think the notebook is not updated. Last update I see. Chiki, are you talking about the output passing notebook? I created a separate notebook. If I show you my screen, see here, output passing, the time is shown 8:28 only. Remember, guys, I'm not updating in the old one. Old one might be 7:57. This is different. Output passing is a separate notebook. Output passing is a separate notebook. Okay. And guys and girls, I'll do one thing. I'll just do one small experiment. Just help me with this experiment. Let me know if you can download the notebook from the chat box. Okay. I'm just doing this experiment because at times these are blocked actually from the admin. But let me just check if they allow me to do that. Because if I can share it through chat, then I can do that also. Along with the Google Drive, I can put it in chat also, which will be useful for you. Can you all check and confirm if you can download it from chats? This is just an experiment, everybody. Because in my earlier class, it was not allowed. Today, I'm surprisingly seeing it's allowing. Okay. Everybody is able to download it from the chat? Just let me know. Perfect. Okay, so next time what I will do is, along with the Google Drive, I'll also put it in chat box. That will be way more convenient. Yes or no? What do you feel? Yeah. I'll and remember the data will still be available in the Google Drive. Okay. Data will also be available in the Google Drive, but I will also put it in chat. Chala. That's good. Data will be there in chat and Google Drive. No, no. See, Google Drive is permanent. I am saying during session, if I want to share something, I can share this way also. Two options basically. Okay. Now I can eat my breakfast, because I taught you Pydantic. God bless me. In method 1, where it's picking the value of format instruction, it is picking from here, Sachi. Yep. Parser.get format instruction. Basically, rather than passing a variable, I'm just running the code here. Got it, Anshul? Basically, the above, I just ran this and this was this. So I can even pass this instruction. Okay. Surya, yeah, I need to. Pune climate is pathetic, man. Sometimes it's super chilly. Sometimes it's warm. Gurujan, better if you upload a portal. See, in the portal, what I'll be doing is I will be giving the Google Drive link. The reason why I'm not putting it in portal is because earlier this session was conducted by another trainer. So technically, this is session 6. So as the notes are not as per the alignment of the topics of the LMS. That's why I'm not uploading it there. Rather than that, what I'm doing is I'm uploading it in Google Drive so that each day's material is available systematically with you. That's the intention here. But yeah, I will be putting the drive link in every class just to ensure that if anybody accesses that, they can go through the drive link. Hey, drive link, just 1 minute. I'll share you the updated drive link, in fact. Guys and girls, everybody in the class, please take the drive link right now. Now, those who have joined my session today for the first time, let me give you a small context. This is day 3. Your trainer was been changed. I'm conducting this session for past 2 days with this team, with this batch. Okay. So my recommendation for you all who is joining my class for the first time is, before you attend tomorrow's class, please go through the last two lectures conducted by me and today's lecture, of course, so that you will feel connected from tomorrow onwards. Hope my instructions are clear for you all. Kindly confirm. Those who joined today. Google Drive link I have already shared in the drive, in the chat. Please make a note of this drive link. I'll be using this link throughout the course. This is for those who are joining my session today or maybe who joined session yesterday. For them, I'm giving this instruction. Requesting you to please go through my last two lectures recording so that you will feel connected. Perfect. Yeah, Delhi is super. I mean, I stayed in Delhi for 2 weeks. I just came back. My project was there for 3 weeks. I said third week I'm doing from work from home. I'm not staying in Delhi. Delhi is also pathetic. Almost now everything is pathetic. My God's own country is safe right now. Sometimes I really feel to stay in Kerala, in my cottage. Yeah, that's a good collection, Chiki. Appreciate it. Everybody, please take this, huh? The prompts are good in this. Good collection. Question. When we define field, do we need specify the string, max length, etc.? Are you referring to the description of the joke where I specified min and max? That's what you're asking me or something else? So see, description is read by your LLM. So your LLM should know now what to store in this variable. So yeah, these are mandatory. These strings are mandatory. Okay. Not only this, even this string is mandatory. Because LLM will know that this is the object that will maintain the joke, setup will maintain the joke, punchline will maintain the punchline of the joke, rating will maintain the rating, like that. So this will be accessed. These all strings, these all document strings will be read by your LLM to understand how to use this object. Hope that's clear. If you want to see all parameters, Chiki, what you can do is, I mean, for example, you can use question mark. Let's say if I want to see all parameters of field, question mark field, and you can execute. So you can see here like this, help documentation. I hope that's okay, Chiki. Is there a max size of string? Can I pass 10,000 characters? You can pass unlimited characters. No worries. But that doesn't mean you should pass. Because remember, all these data will fall in the category of token. You know, na? Every LLM has a token limit. So even though theoretically we can pass everything, but you should not do that. So Sendran, I hope that that's clear. Can you add more comments in each cell as it is doing what to get more clarity on each code? Yeah, Mustaq, I will add it from the next time. No worries. But this is quite self-explanatory. I don't think this will be any issue for you. Because moreover, you need to focus on method 1, method 2, and method 3. Here I just shown just the process, nothing more than that. Here nothing is happening. Actual thing starts from method 1, method 2, method 3, which I have commented well. Okay. How should we strict token to be generated? As a matter of fact, Vishal, one of my strategies, I use LLM only to generate the prompt with strict tokens. I use LLM only for this to ensure the token overloading or kind of what we say out of bounds doesn't happen. So input is something that will be a different Python function that has no relation with LangChain, right? Like yesterday I shown you, I used input to take a input from user, right? If suppose you have a JSON, you may first use pandas to load the JSON file and then pass individual records, or maybe you will import JSON and pass. So that's a different area. Data acquisition part is a normal Python function. Then comes the LangChain. Because for LangChain, you need to ensure your data should be the format as expected by LangChain. I hope I'm clear from my side, Vishal. How is format instruction passed in method 1? How is format instruction passed in method 1? Method 1 format instruction is passed here. Partial variable section, this is the line of code. When this is executed, format instruction will be stored here and this will be given here. Clear, Shweta? Bear with me with my voice, everybody. I'm just having my hot water also in parallel. So everybody in the class, from tomorrow onwards, I will be giving you assignments. We have covered enough to start with assignments also. Okay. So I will highly encourage you all to please solve the assignments before the next classes. Trust me, your learning journey will be awesome. Spare some time, okay? That's my humble request. Try your best. I'm not saying, tighten up the schedule and all. Try your best, please. So I'm just giving a small heads up today only. I don't want to surprise you all tomorrow. That's why I'm giving a small heads up. Tomorrow onwards, you'll be getting an assignments which you will be solving. I will insist you to solve. And yeah, all assignments that I'll be giving, I will also give solutions. It's not like I'll just give questions and run away. I'll give solutions also, but I'll give solutions at the later stage because I want you all to honestly try. Simple. Okay, can quick demo of line flow. Sorry, Sarjeet. See, I cannot commit anything beyond the scope because of the time constraint, Chicky. But I'll see if time will be there at the later stage of the class. I will help you. Okay. But if you have any questions, let's say you are creating a POC in your system, Chicky, or if you face any trouble now, more than happy to help you with the troubleshooting. That will not be a problem. Okay. So if you want, Chiki, what you can do is, see, since I think you have forwarded, I mean, you know certain things, I'm assuming that. So you prepare a POC in your system. I will encourage you. You prepare a POC. Wherever you get stuck, share me the log files, share me your goal intent. I'll help you with the process. Maybe we can do an email communication also if required. No worries. Or if you're in my LinkedIn messages, every day I get more than 50 plus messages from my students. It's normal for me now. And this is not for Chiki, by the way. Everybody in the class, most welcome. Huh? He asked me, so I responded by his name, but this is for everyone. Huh? Everyone is welcome in this. I love learning, I love teaching, so it's okay for me. But yeah, time constraint will be there as I'm also a working professional. I'm not a full-time trainer. Even I have my company. So everybody, those who want can connect with me here. Huh? Connect with me. No worries. Everybody messages me here in LinkedIn. And I'm active in LinkedIn, by the way. So you all can message me. And in LinkedIn, you can find my details. Don't worry. There are a lot of no-code framework. That's why I mentioned. Hmm. Sabha, that depends on timing. Mostly it will be homework. But maybe in the last 20 minutes, if we have time, then maybe you will solve at that time like that. Certain times you will be solving in front of me. Certain times it will be homework. Actually, Chiki, to be very frank, I know many professionals, friends of mine, who are using NA10, who are using now Agent Kit because the Agent Kit recently released. That's also kind of no code. Frankly speaking, they are happy because they need not transition themselves to Python first, or maybe Golang first, and then come into LangChain or JS. Because JS developers were very happy when they saw LangChain JS. But now, because of no code, everybody is able to do work in the in the world of agentic. So everybody in the class, I really hope you all have gone through the code and the code is fine for you. Guys, practice is the key, repetition is the key. Even when I started my journey with LangChain, I started when LangChain was released as alpha version 0.0. Actually, it was not even 0.1. It was called as LangChain demo at that time. So whatever. Point is, I started from there. I struggled a lot initial days, and it's very normal. You know, getting used to the class, getting used to the dynamic documentations. Even now, documentations are changed dynamically. Even now, surprisingly, we see some classes are getting obsolete. So point is, this is something that happens with every niche technology. Every budding technology. And one thing that you all are lucky right now is you all are learning these concepts at the budding stage. Means you all are pioneers. So have that benefit with you. Practice more. Trust me, you will be the front runners. You all will be the front runners. Okay. So with that note, everyone, if you have any questions for me regarding today's topic or whatever we have covered till now, you can ask your questions. Else you all can type NQ confirming no questions for today. NQ means no questions. And once again, same story, everybody. Please ensure you fill in the feedback forms. I hope you all know the facts, right? New trainer, These guys keep a watch on feedbacks. Happy with the session? Please give a score of 5. Requesting all of you to actively participate in the feedback process. And we'll see you tomorrow. Just to give you an idea, heads up, please see my screen. Tomorrow's agenda is what? Tomorrow's agenda is what? Everybody, I have gave you the agenda of day 1 only. I hope you all remember. Yes or no? So today, everybody pay attention. This prompt template and all we learned on day 2. Today also what we did is we did chains continued and output parser. Tomorrow we are going to technically start with RAG, but 4 and 5 basically 2 days combination. Basically we'll be doing some prerequisites tomorrow, okay, for the RAG concept. Also, if time permits, I will also teach you the legacy style coding of LangChain. Huh? Also, if time permits, not now. I'm not giving any commitment, but let's see. Hope you all are excited for the RAG lecture tomorrow. Yes, because this is where you will start your journey as, I can say, Gen AI engineer. Okay then, so thank you very much for attending the class. See you all in tomorrow's class. Have a great day, all of you. Bye-bye.